Hello everyone. This is the Facts You Need to Know channel, a place to share interesting stories of countries around the world. Today we will come to Portugal, the country known as the land of the sun that never sets. Portugal is an extremely wonderful country, with many beautiful landscapes, rich in historical values and traditional culture. Portugal is also the home of Cristiano Ronaldo, the most influential player in world football at the moment, and there are many other exciting things. Now let's get to know this country. Let's talk about geography first. Portugal has an area of 92,212 square kilometers. The country is located in the southwest region of the Iberian Peninsula. The west and south bordering the Atlantic Ocean, in the north and east bordering Spain. Portugal also has the Azores and Madeira archipelagos located off the Atlantic Ocean. Portugal's continental borders have remained almost unchanged from the 12th century to the present. Portugal has an ideal geographical location. Located at the meeting point of three continents: America, Europe, Africa. The country has always been at the center of the most important international routes. In Portugal, you can find international airports all over the country. I will talk a little bit about Madeira. This is Cristiano Ronaldo's hometown. Madeira was discovered by Portuguese sailors in the 15th century, considered the first part of Portuguese exploration. Today, it is a year-round resort with about 2 million tourists arriving each year. And if they travel by air to Madeira, they will land at Madeira International Airport, which has a statue of Cristiano Ronaldo. The capital of Portugal is Lisbon. Lisbon is the second oldest city in Europe after Athens of Greece. Lisbon is even older than the Italian city of Rome by about 4 centuries. The population of this country is 10 million people, ranking 76th in the world. Due to its many archipelagos in the ocean and long coastline, Portugal has the third largest exclusive economic zone in the European Union, and the 11th largest in the world. The sea area in which Portugal exercises its territorial rights, and in particular, its economic exploitation and use of resources in the sea, has a total area of 1.7 million square kilometers. This means that the area exploited at sea belongs to Portugal, which is 18 times larger than its territory. Portugal's strategic location is like a balcony overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, and this is the westernmost point of Europe. With its geographical proximity to Africa, Portugal is one of the warmest countries in Europe. The average temperature is from 15 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius. In the north of Portugal, it still snows on some days. In general, in terms of climate, Portugal has warm winters and cool summers. The number of sunshine hours per year reached nearly 3,300 hours in the south and 1,600 hours in the north, the highest in Europe. About economic. The gross domestic product of Portugal, GDP, is $250 billion. Since joining the European Community in 1986, Portugal has made leaps and bounds, becoming one of the world's most diverse service economies. Portugal's industrial strength is concentrated in industries such as food and beverage processing, oil refining, shipbuilding, leather shoe manufacturing, textiles, paper manufacturing, metals, chemicals. Most of the mines are located in the northern mountains of Beira. Portugal's forests also provide a large amount of cork to the world. Energy sectors such as hydropower, wind and solar power are growing rapidly, significantly replacing imported fuels. The national flag of Portugal. Spanning thousands of years of history, Portugal has had many times to change the national flag. The national flag of Portugal was designed by painters with colors representing different messages. On the flag of Portugal, there are two main colors, green and red. The red color is symbolic of the sacrifices made by the Portuguese in the war to regain peace. Green brings hope for a happy and developed country. The shield symbolizes the nation's victory in battle. On the Portuguese flag there is an emblem called an armillary sphere. This is an astronomical instrument used to determine the direction of the journey to discover new lands in the 15th century. This is also considered the golden era of Portugal. The presence of this ball is like a reminder of their heroic past. History, culture and people. Portugal is known as the oldest country in Europe. The Kingdom of Portugal was established in 1143. Portugal remained with the monarchy for almost 800 years until 1910. The official name of Portugal is the Portuguese Republic. From the 15th century, the Portuguese gained the first overseas colonies, when they conquered lands outside their country. First, the Portuguese conquered the islands in the Atlantic, the islands around their country. That led to the first colonization movements. During the 15th century, Portuguese explorers sailed along the African coast, establishing trading posts at that time. They were looking for a route to India, access to spices to meet the huge demand in Europe at that time. One of the leading explorers of Portugal was Vasco da Gama. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached India. He was the first to sail from Europe to India. By the early 16th century, Portuguese explorers had discovered Brazil, and some parts of Central America, the Caribbean, then the Indian Ocean, and the South Atlantic. Portugal was the first European country to participate in the transatlantic slave trade, because they had a powerful fleet to bring slaves from Africa to Europe. But it was also the first country to abolish slavery, abolishing it before Britain, Spain, France and the United States for about half a century. With such a maritime development, Portugal was once known as the land of the sun that never sets. Half the world has belonged to Portugal in the past. At its peak, the Portuguese Empire spanned 53 different countries. So it's no surprise that Portuguese is the official language of 9 countries around the world. This language is spoken by more than 236 million people worldwide. It is the 6th most popular language in the world. The Portuguese people are charming and friendly. They always welcome all visitors warmly regardless of where they come from. Portugal is located on the west bank of Europe, which is the gateway to the Schengen area, so visitors come here from all over the world. The majority of Portuguese people know how to use foreign languages, especially English. Now we will learn interesting things about this country of Portugal. Fiesa International Sand Sculpture Festival. The International Sand Sculpture Festival is held in Para in the Algarve. Artists use about 40,000 tons of sand on an area of 15,000 square meters to create sand sculptures depicting people, places and things. Incredible details, some of them as high as 12 meters. At night the sculptures are illuminated, and during the day you can attend exhibitions, contests and demonstrations. Portugal have also set a surfing record. In February 2011, an American surfer surfed on a massive 23.77 meters wave off the coast of Portugal, setting a world record that has yet to be broken. Portugal is the world's largest producer of mussel buttons. They produce about 70% of the world's cork. Their main cork importers are Germany, the UK and the US. Wine is considered the country's national drink. It is also one of their most famous exports. Portugal has the world's largest cork forest. The cork is considered to be the most vigorous in Portugal. With its natural endowments, plenty of sunny days, mild winters and many other comfortable conditions. The longest bridge in Europe is Vasco da Gama Bridge in Lisbon, Portugal. The total length of the bridge is up to 17,185 meters, 30 meters wide, including 6 lanes for vehicles. The bridge can withstand wind speeds of up to 250 kilometers per hour, and withstand an earthquake 4.5 times stronger than the historic Lisbon earthquake in 1755, about 8.7 on the Richter scale. Portugal holds the record as the country with the largest omelette in the world. In 2012, a group of people in the town of Ferreira do Zezera, 55 persons spent 16 hours battling the world's largest omelette. They used a total of 145,000 eggs, 880 pounds of oil and 220 pounds of butter to make this omelette. The cake has a total weight of 6,466 kilograms. This is also the end of all the interesting stories about Portugal. Thank you for following this story. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Now, goodbye and see you in the next sections.